The Denver Nuggets beat the LA Clippers in Game 7. They're going to now play the OKC Thunder. The Clippers curse continues for another year. Let's get into it. What a series we had. This series went 7. I had it going 7, but I was on the wrong end of it. I had the Clippers in 7. And I can't believe I believed in the Clippers. There's a good reason to, obviously. I mean, they were a very good team, especially down the stretch of this year. They were probably one of the best teams in the West, in my opinion. Obviously, OKC is in their own class. I'm not debating that. I'm not here to argue that. But when you were asking me, who else can really contend in the West going into the playoffs? Clippers were up there for me. They had the depth. They had the scoring. Kawhi was healthy. You had numerous All-NBA players. Zubac. You had James Harden playing at an elite level. I thought all of these things were going to come together. Ty Lue, and I had the Clippers in 7. And that just wasn't the case. Again, it was a hard-fought series, but it just didn't result in the result that I guess, was wanting. But I don't really care who won the series. Just wanted to be right. But Denver ends up getting the series, and they advance. So, again, credit to Denver. And, again, I thought Denver was done. You fire your head coach about 2 weeks before the playoffs. I mean, any other situation, I'm fading that team just like I did fade Denver. A new head coach. But I underestimated the championship DNA of this team and this core. They've been through it together. They've been in the mud. They've been in the trenches. And, again, they were deep in the trenches this series, and they continue to fight back. And then that's what they did. So I'm going to have to be a little bit more cautious fading that type of championship DNA going forward. But, again, credit to the Denver Nuggets with a new head coach as well. Doing all this on the fly, it's got to be pretty hard to do. And again, you beat a very good team. Don't let the Clippers curse blind you from. Just don't underestimate the Clippers. The Clippers, they are still a good team. So again, credit to Denver. They really got it done throughout the series. And the biggest X factor for me in this game, specifically for Game 7, was just the fact that the entire starting lineup went completely off in this game. They all went off in this game. Braun had 21 points. Jamal Murray, 16. Aaron Gordon, 22. Porter with 15. Jokic was 16. Russ was 16. When you get six players to do that well, you're probably not losing the game. And those 6 players are all of your best players. So having that advantage, again, in a closeout game at home as well, it's just going to be really hard to lose that type of game. And again, you don't even need Jokic to go for 30 and 25, or you don't need MPJ to have a 30-point game, or Aaron Gordon to have a 25-point game, like really, really, really go off. No, you just had them all kind of do their thing together, just play cohesive basketball, and it really all worked out. And I mentioned his name, but Russ, man, his energy was really, really good last night. It's been good through the entire series, and this has kind of been bubbling since probably the first or second game. The Clippers all series have been letting him open for 3, and it makes sense. He's not the best 3-point shooter, but this game especially, he made them really feel it. For some of those 3 balls, he hit some big 3 balls in the second quarter, and then one of my favorite plays from last night was he had this very low-key, casual assist. Just a nice little assist to Jokic, and one, gets the crowd going. He's getting guys involved. I thought the ball movement in general with Denver was really good, but Russ was really just getting the energy going. He got the crowd going, and I think the entire team was feeding off that, as we saw again with their stat lines, but he just really was getting it going, and in my opinion, he was the X factor coming off the bench for Denver. Now we have to talk about the Clippers' woes as well. They're not exempt from criticism, and again, the James Harden curse strikes again. James Harden with a total of 7 points on 2 for 8 shooting, 1 for 4 on 3-point shooting. You just need to be better, man. And it sucks because I kind of got to love James Harden even a little bit more than I already did a couple years ago with my Sixers. But again, it's the same thing in these Game 6s and the Game 7s, though he actually did do pretty well in this Game 6. He just doesn't show up. And it's getting to the point where, man, you really can't argue against this point. There is no point to argue. How many times now have we seen James Harden just not get it done in these situations, not get it done in these big games? And it's just unfortunate because, look, you can not like James Harden. Yes, he's been on a lot of teams. He's, kind of been a little bit selfish when requesting a trade. Very foul baity back in his day with Houston. But man, this guy's one of the best scorers of all time in the NBA. He's reinvented his game the last couple of years. He played point guard for the Sixers, and even what he's been doing with the Clippers was very impressive at his age. But all of it, it's not that it doesn't matter. It's just so hard to overlook what he does in these big moments. And in these big moments, it almost always adds up to him not showing up. I don't know if it's a mental thing for him. I don't know. You would think he'd want to get over that hump so bad, but he just hasn't been able to do it. I saw a stat last night. Now with four different teams, James Harden has now lost a Game 7. Like, it's starting to look like, the problem might be you a little bit, man. So it's just unfortunate. It's unfortunate for an NBA legend to kind of have this stain on his legacy because, again, he's going to go to the Hall of Fame. He's a great player. But when you talk about his playoff success or the lack thereof, you're going to be thinking about games like this, Game 7s. And it's something I didn't account for when I was making my prediction for this series, but it's something you can't ignore at this point. I mean, it is just so blatantly obvious that this guy does not show up in crucial games, and it's just sad. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And the Clippers didn't get much from their other guys as well. Norman Powell with only 9 points was shooting 4 for 11. You're going to need more out of him as well. He needs to be a high volume scorer for you, and he just didn't give you that. Nick Batum with only 3 points, only on I think 2 or 3 shots in general. This guy was saving the day in Game 6, was changing the outcome of the game, and he gets 3 shots? Come on, man. You got to be better than that. Obviously, Kawhi shows up, 22 points for him. But even then, you probably want a little bit more from Kawhi, but I'm not going to get on him. He's the only guy that really showed up for the Clippers. Some of their bench guys, Bogdanovich, I know, had 10. A couple other guys here and there had 10, 12. But overall, you just need more, man. You need more from your role players. And again, you need more from James Harden. And I think that's one of the main reasons why the Clippers lost. And just recapping the game, at the end of the first quarter, the Clippers actually led. They actually led in the game. And I was like, okay, we have a game. But again, that second quarter, Russ started getting the energy going. He started hitting those big threes, started, distributing the ball to guys. The ball movement started to really take another level for Denver. And all of a sudden, Denver's just starting to hit shots. By the end of the time of the second quarter, we go into halftime. The Clippers are only down 11, so not a good point where you want to be, especially on the road, but it was doable. But again, that third quarter was just absolutely terrible. Denver couldn't miss a shot. Clippers couldn't hit a shot. And I would say probably midway through the third quarter, it was over. It was about a 20, 25-point lead at some points. The game was over, and that's just how you knew that the Clippers were done and that Denver was advancing. So Denver will play OKC. I'm going to break that down in my NBA predictions video coming soon, so be on the lookout for that. So I'm not going to get too into that, but I do just want to kind of talk about the Clippers moving forward. It's just such a tough situation to be in because, again, I feel like this is the discussion we've had for the Clippers the last 5, 6, 7 years at this point. It's a great season. You get to the playoffs. There's potential. You just barely miss it. And now it's, again, how do we move forward with this core? And this core is only getting older. I'm so happy that Kawhi at least was able to be healthy in the playoffs, but is that something we can rely on moving forward? I don't think so. James Harden's only getting older, though he played at a good level. But again, as we've talked about in this video, can James Harden even be relied on in Game 6s and Game 7s of the playoffs? That's something to be a little wary of. And of course, this is something that the Clippers are going to have to deal with for years. I mean, you just don't have a lot of draft picks. There's not a ton of ways you can reinvent this core. But I like the core. That's what's so tough is I like this team. I didn't think they were going to be this good. So maybe this year was an outlier. But they ended up being a lot better. And I liked what they did. I like their staff. I like everything. It just doesn't come together in these big moments. So I'm really not sure how the Clippers move forward. That's something I'm going to be watching in the offseason. But just something to keep an eye on moving forward. I'm very curious to see how the Clippers move forward as an organization. And that's all I got for you guys today. Just, again, wanting to give credit to Denver. Excited to see them play OKC, a young team playing a championship team. We'll see how this all goes. Again, the Clippers go out sad. James Harden goes out sad. Another year for Kawhi, not really doing anything since he left Toronto. Unfortunate for LA, but they fought hard. That's all you really want to ask for. It just wasn't enough in Game 7. So, yeah, overall, I thought it was a great series, very captivating, and I'm excited to see how the rest of the NBA plays out. We got Game 7 with the Warriors and the Rockets tonight, so I'm excited to see how that goes. And, yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. If you enjoy this video, feel free to give it a like. If you have any thoughts, drop them down below in the comments section. And if you like my type of content, feel free to subscribe. And I will see you guys on the next one. Peace, guys.